Welcome back, students, to the last part of cloning vectors. We discussed certain cloning vectors earlier. Plasmids from bacteria used as artificially cloned vectors like PBR322 and all. We are coming to the topic cloning vectors used in plants. Okay, how are gene of interest introduced into plants to change the feature of a plant cell? This is a picture of a bacterium called Agrobacterium tumefaciens. This is a soil bacteria and it is a plant pathogen. That means it has the ability to infect plants. The plasmid in this bacterium is called TI plasmid, tumor inducing plasmid. And scientists call this bacterium a natural genetic engineer. Why? The reason is the plasmid in this bacterium, that is the tumor inducing plasmid, it acts as a vector, naturally acts as a vector, and it delivers a small segment of the plasmid, not the whole plasmid, but a small segment called transfer DNA, tDNA. That is the pathogenic region of the whole plasmid. So it transfers it into the host cell's genome and alters the genome of the plant, alters the character of the plant, and the plant cells start forming tumor. The disease is called crown gall disease. So in short, if I tell you, this is how you should understand as given in your 12th NCERT. That is, if a plant, this is a soil bacteria here, Agrobacterium tumefaciens. If it is injured, we will talk in detail about it later. If it is injured at a particular site, this soil bacterium will accumulate in the injured site, and this is the TI plasmid of the agrobacterium. This is the tDNA area. It will allow its tDNA area to infect the cells in the wounded area. So the tDNA gets incorporated into the plant cell, and that plant cell starts proliferating very fast. Those cells start proliferating very fast, dividing very fast, and forms tumor, and that tumor is called crown gall. So how does this agrobacterium infect the plants? A little bit in detail. This is a picture of soil bacterium, green colored rod-shaped, they are bacillus, rod-shaped bacterium, and this is an injured site. You can see a plant is wounded naturally, or maybe a cut formed by people. However, if it is injured, it starts releasing certain compounds called phenolic compounds. The bacteria senses these compounds and gets attracted to that area. It accumulates in the wounded area. Okay, and this area, what I have shown here, magnified, you can see what happens to the cells in the wounded area. The bacterium, agrobacterium, which accumulates near the wounded cells, they form a close connectivity between the cells, the two cells. That is a cytoplasmic connection between the two cells, a kind of conjugation. So this channel, this transport channel built between them, allows the tDNA region to enter the plant cell. Only a single strand enters through the transport channel formed between the bacterium and the plant cell, which is in close contact. The tDNA region enters as single strand and becomes double stranded in the plant cell. After getting incorporated, it becomes double stranded. So many such cells in the wounded area gets those tDNA in it. This tDNA naturally gets incorporated into the plant cell's genome and reprograms the plant. Because the tDNA is infectious, it is pathogenic, disease causing. It induces the normal plant cells in those injured sites to form tumors. Now the bacteria starts growing in it. The tumor formation is called crown gall disease. Coming to how does the tDNA cause tumor in plants? We will talk about the region of the tDNA which is actually contagious, which is actually promoting that tumor formation. It is genes coding for auxin and cytokinin. They are the growth hormones. Bacterium has these genes in the tDNA region. Normally, You all know that plant cells have growth hormones, auxin and cytokinin produced. Naturally, they have genes, so they produce auxin and cytokinins. Here, the bacterium has the gene and it produces these two hormones, which starts expressing. Once incorporated into the plant cell, this gene starts expressing. So what happens? There is already auxin and cytokinin production in plants. Plus now this gene of the bacterium is also producing. So there is overdosage of these hormones in the plants. This makes the infected cells proliferate. They undergo mitosis very fast, resulting in such tumors. These tumor cells produce the chemical required for the growth of the pathogen. So once they form tumor, certain chemicals start being produced there, which the bacteria uses, and they grow there, they flourish there. Okay, now how is this TI plasmid modified? See, scientists came to know about this nature of natural mechanism in the bacterium to induce tumor in plants by incorporating their gene into it. So what the scientists do, they took advantage of this. They made use of this bacteria by redesigning it. How? They cultured bacterium. This is the culture plate. Agrobacterium is cultured. You can see the colonies. Then they isolated the TI plasmid. We know how to isolate DNA. So isolation of the plasmid, that is from the bacterial cell, plasmid is isolated. Okay. Now this plasmid that is done by causing lysis of the bacterial cell. Bacterial cell has to be broken. So the plasmid is released. This plasmid is treated with restriction enzyme which cuts at a particular site in the tDNA region. I'll explain you this with this picture of tDNA so that you understand its features, natural features. This is the tDNA area. This is the gene coding for auxin. This is for cytokinin. There are other genes also, but we will restrict our understanding to auxin and cytokinin for your 12th class purpose. There are these two borders, the end part of the tDNA, that should be intact. That should not be cleaved. So the restriction enzyme cleaves the area of auxin cytokinin gene. So this is how the space is formed. Clear? So here the scientist would introduce a gene of interest. So the first step is culturing, second isolation of the TI plasmid from the bacterial cell by lysis of the bacteria, then disarming. Disarming word meaning snatching away the weapon. What is their weapon? tDNA is the weapon. tDNA is what is infectious, the genes coding for auxin and cytokinin. So they are disarming. They are snatching away that area. So space is created. We'll continue with this picture. This was just for explanation. So this space created is now given an insert. So fourth step, making rDNA. How? By incorporating the gene of interest in the tDNA in that area where space was created. So that is the new DNA, desirable gene. So now this plasmid is allowed to get into the agrobacterium cultured so that the agrobacterium are now genetically modified. They have a new plasmid with the insert that we gave, the desirable gene. So they are genetically modified agrobacterium with the gene of interest. Clear? From the culture plate, these cells are allowed to infect the plants, not as shown here directly in the field, but we have to carry out a technique called plant tissue culture, which we will discuss later in some video, where this plant parts can be cultured and the bacterium can be incorporated into the culture plate. The plant cells used, leaves or any part used, should be wounded so that the bacteria infects the plant cells. And those plant cells, being totipotent in nature, will give rise to many new saplings. Such plants are then shifted to the field. All these plants have the gene of interest because they are infected by the agrobacterium, which are not having the infectious tDNA but has the gene of interest. So these are plants which are genetically modified with a new trait. For example, the gene of interest could be a gene coding for a very good protein needed for commercial purpose. Okay, it could be gene for nicotine production, high nicotine production in tobacco plant. So such gene of interest is given and the plant improves its trait with that gene of interest. So that is how it goes. Similarly, other methods of delivering genes into animal cells are also found with the same type of mechanism using viruses, retroviruses. Retro here refers to viruses having RNA. That means they have their dogma following reverse dogma, RNA to DNA in the animal cell. You will understand this when you learn about the nature of virus. So that retroviruses are used to alter gene of interest into animal cells by disarming their pathogenic area. I hope this topic is clear. Any doubt you can write in the comment box. Okay. Thank you.